Meanwhile, we're going to go now to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where doctors are struggling to contain the world's second largest Ebola outbreak. The World Health Organization has recorded over 2,000 cases there in just the last 10 months. And health officials are facing special challenges in their fight. Well, David McKenzie got a rare look inside one of the treatment centers there in Congo. He joins me now from Goma. Hi, David. Just tell us what you saw and what people told you.
Well, certainly, and you can hear one of the planes that lands here in Goma frequently flying over my head. It certainly is a big and very tricky response here for this outbreak that has killed more than 1,000 people and shows no signs of slowing down. We've just gotten back from the center of that hot zone. Modern medicine just isn't enough. They need boots on the ground and fast.
Dr. Camera Mode enters this exhausting battleground, where a transparent barrier isolates a highly contagious Ebola patient from the outside world. His team rushes to stabilize a young woman who lost her baby and her husband to the virus. The death rate in this outbreak, nearly 70%.
You know, sometimes you forget, even for myself, this is my third Ebola outbreak, the terror that this strikes into people. When people come here, they feel they might die. In fact, they believe there's a good chance they will. But if they're inside there, they'll be able to see the eyes, the emotions, the care of the doctors, and also for the family members coming in, they'll be able to interact with them. They're no longer isolated in the same sense.
They call these new units the Cube. The family can begin to trust us, says Dr. Mode, because they can see with their own eyes that we are caring for their loved ones. Its design, a hard lesson learned from the 2014 West African epidemic, where Ebola killed more than 11,000. This time around, teams are also armed with an effective, if experimental, vaccine. Advances that meant this outbreak was supposed to be different. It wasn't supposed to last this long or kill so many. 10 months later, it is still spreading. For the vaccine to work, the teams need to be able to reach all of this. But this is Eastern Congo, a region racked by decades of violence, where armed groups continue to thrive in a dysfunctional state. So a mistrusting community is understandable.
What's at stake here is whether we can break this transmission or not. If it continues to be interrupted, it's likely that the virus will continue to propagate.
And what would that mean for this region, for global health?
It remains a threat to surrounding provinces. It remains a threat to surrounding countries. So we cannot let it spread.
For the spread to stop, Samuel Mutakwa needs to work, keeping track of those most likely to become infected.
So that's 36.8.
Yeah, 28.
So that's safe.
Yeah, that's safe.
But like so many health workers here, Samuel's been threatened, even beaten up by his terrified neighbors.
Sometimes all the world knows is fear, but they don't look at the individual people.
We need to treat these patients with empathy, he says. We need to treat them like they're a member of the family. In the nearby creche, Ebola survivors now immune to the disease, like Masima, become family to young babies who wait to see if their infected mothers will live or die.
You have a smile on your face. Why do you have a smile on your face?
My smile is the joy of being alive, she says. I beat Ebola. I'm smiling to the God who gave me life.
Well, really powerful words there from that woman who is helping those young children hanging in the balance. And it's the people like Samuel who we met, the volunteers who go out bravely into communities, convincing people to trust this response, keeping track of those people who could get sick and convincing them to get to the treatment center that could break the back of this spread. Robin?
Brilliant. Well done for giving voice to all of those people there. It's such important work being done. So you're there in Goma, and that's where the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, is anchoring their response. So I want to know, why are they so worried about the virus spreading there?
Well, Goma is a large city, and I want to give you the sense of the geography. Right over my shoulder there, it's the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo. As you hear another plane coming over, I'll give a brief pause. And on my shoulder on this side, those hills, that is Rwanda. We're right in a border region, and this outbreak, Robin, is between this country, Rwanda, Uganda to the north, and South Sudan. Here in Goma, they believe if the virus latches on here, they say it could be the worst case scenario. So they're preparing for that possibility of that event. That's why it's so critical that they halt it in its tracks to the north of where I'm standing. Otherwise, it could spread here and then further spread through the region. Robin?
Okay, great reporting. David McKenzie and his team there in the DRC. Thanks so much, guys.